Hello there, it's Katrina again with Do You Have a Couple Minutes? And today I want to know if you have a couple minutes to continue our wisdom series and to speak about speech and action. So today we're going to talk about some verses from Proverbs chapter 29 and 30 in our series. And we'll really be talking about how words can be used and maybe not used, and the impact of our words and the behavior that we may exhibit with others. So we'll be looking at two verses out of each of the chapters, chapter 29 and 30 today. So let's go ahead and get started. In chapter 29, verse 5 reads, "A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet." And then verse 11 reads, "A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterwards." Now, these verses really provide some insight about how words are used. Flattery can be used in an underhanded manner to set others up for a fall. So we're warned about flattery and to be wary of it. Not everyone is providing a well intended compliment. Sometimes there is a motive to try to get you to maybe slack off on your attentiveness or your critical thinking application skills. So we need to be wary of words that encourage us to maybe slack versus words that might be bolstering us up to perform at an even higher level. The second verse reminds us that silence can be prudent. Just because we have information, knowledge, or even an opinion, we should be mindful about our timing in sharing those things. Sometimes by waiting to speak, we are able to learn a bit more, we are able to discern a bit more so that when we share, it has greater value. And if there's a situation where we no longer need to share anything, then we haven't wasted our breath. Let's go on to chapter 30, verses 32 through 33, which read, "If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth." And then verse 33 continues, "Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife." Now, these verses provide advice around correcting our behavior while still noting that there are natural outcomes or consequences for our actions and behaviors. When we've done something regrettable, we should recognize that and we should stop the behavior. In this case, we see the example of someone that has been boasting, and that's something that we want to try to avoid. So we want to take proactive action to prevent and avoid the boasting of ourselves. And then the later verse reminds us that there are outcomes for our behaviors. When we do good work, in this case, we have the example of churning milk, we receive the butter or the benefit of our good labor. Likewise, when we exercise poor or harsh behavior, it will yield trouble. So when we experience strife and difficulty, it's important to understand if we've played a role in that being part of our circumstances. And if we have, then we should have a desire to make a change. And here we make changes with these examples in controlling our speech and controlling our behavior that will allow us to move forward. So today I want you to continue to be encouraged that we have freedom of choice and we have the ability to be discerning about how speech is used, how we use our speech, and how we choose to interact and behave. And with that, that is my few minutes for today. I hope that you have found that this has been a message that's been inspiring, something to help you think, learn, grow, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. And I hope that if you are enjoying these messages, that you'll share them with others so that they can come along our learning journey as well. Please be sure to check out the show notes for a summary of today's session, as well as contact information to be in touch with me if you'd like to do that, and information on how you can get some of my most recent publications. And as always, I'm super appreciative of you joining me here today, and I hope to see you back next time. Until then, bye-bye.